What's up, y'all? It's Mitchell and Mitchell Sip and Spill.
What's good,
I'm
people?
Kimmy Kim.
I'm Eddie Ed.
So, again, he just can't do the two names. But what's up, y'all? Today we wanted to come at y'all and talk to y'all about something that's kind of been dear to my heart and what I've been going through like a few days now. Just sometimes in life you need to like do an inventory check where you at and see exactly where your focus at so you can get to where you feel like you need to be. So as much as we on this show with laughter, comedy, love, we always go in and out of seriousness as well as dropping gems and just reaching the people. I think Ed and I both have um, experiences in our life that real talk we can share with people that will make you think, realize, and kind of reshape where you at. In the process of you doing that, and the process of us doing that to you guys, really when you sharing and you giving and you putting those things out there to help others, you really help yourself even more so. You know, um, it's easy. Like when somebody call you up or they want an advice and you give it to them, but then when it's happening to you, you be like, you gotta like check. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, but okay, now it's really happening to me. So with that said, that's where we kind of go. So if y'all hang out with us for the next 15-20 minutes, this title is strictly on focusing. So where are you in your life? You know, um, like in your life, Ed, where you at? Where you figure like things have happened in your world. You like this happened, that happened. It kind of shapes us, right? To kind of where we be at in moments. From up and down. To sometimes it always got to be a quantity of things. It could just be one thing, but that thing is such a high level of quality that it shapes your direction for the next, you know what I'm saying, year, or more until something else happened and get you out of that. So right now, let's say we at the beginning of the year. I feel like for everybody to want to lose weight or for whoever want to start that business or whoever is like, I'm working on, I want to get a kid or I want to find my king, my queen, all the different subjects that Ed and I really kind of talk about. Where are you right now and what is going to take for you to get there? Have you thought about it? Have
Yeah,
you slept on it? Do it wake you up at night? I don't know about me, but Ed, it wakes me up at night when I can't like sleep, when it's something to kind of bother me. And pretty much how our show got born. Ed and I was chopping it up, just talking about our own experiences, things we go through. And this is how we became. And for all us people that have liked, subscribed, and shared and sent us love, I want to take the opportunity to say we appreciate you, to give the content and put ourselves out there for y'all every day. Believe me, we think about y'all every day. That's why we on here. So when we miss a day or two, trust and believe we will be back. So with that said, Ed, where you thinking? What you thinking? Where your focus at?
well, one of the things sometimes I have to tell myself, I have to remind myself of who I am.
Yeah.
And sometimes we get kind of discombobulated or overwhelmed by circumstances. Like you said, sometimes things may not be a lot of different things. It could be this one thing that could be so powerful.
Yeah.
And it can kind of overtake or overshadow all the other things. Um, but one thing that I have to remember is because you talked about beginning of the year, losing weight, making money, starting businesses. One of the things beyond motivation, because a lot of times you got to be motivated to do things. You got to encourage yourself. You got to do these things, get yourself out of these places. But one of the things that's most important that I have to remind myself, and it's the biggest thing of all of it, is discipline. See, with focus, you have to have a discipline, and the discipline kind of takes you back, puts you back on course. It reminds you who you are, what you've been through. It's almost like David when he defeated the giant. He had to remind himself that he had defeated the bear, he had defeated the lion. Who was this uncircumcised thing? Like I have the I have the I guess the scars and the credentials to show that even if I can't defeat him, I have the temerity or the wherewithal to attempt to defeat him. It's a discipline. The discipline is a reminder of what you've done to build you up to this point to keep going. So at this point now, it's more the focus is that discipline, the discipline of doing the right things that you know that's right, the discipline to put in the right work, right? You know,
Mm-hmm.
faith without work is dead. And we get into that type of aspect. So it's the work is the discipline. It's the mental discipline that I'm starting today, from yesterday to today. It's like, oh, I know what I've been on. I've been letting myself go. It's like I would remember when I would train, for martial arts or weight training, you get into like my body hurt. But when you discipline, you just kind of everything kind of comes because you got to remember the discipline that you had, all the work you put into it. So now it's like, wait a minute, I have been through things. I have worked on
Mm-hmm.
things. I've been defeated. I've won, and I have. He's now at the point of calculated risk. So now to just go off what you're saying, that focus is you have to start with a level of discipline that you either have to ingratiate, to gravitate to, learn, or to bring back into your remembrance, to go back into those things. One of the first things you learn is almost like one of the first things we learn with fighting. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
First things we learn when we come to fighting is understanding timing. And my shihan will always say, everybody want to fight till they get hit. And it's like,
Mm.
what do you do once you get hit? Because you get all the skills, but it's like, what if you get hit? You get hurt. Now you got to remember your breathing. Now you got to remember your timing, because if you remember time and breathing, you can know where you are. You can get back refocused, and you get back in alignment with your discipline. So that's where I'm at now, is getting myself back. Like, wait a minute, I'm not. It's like the David thing. Like, wait a minute, I'm not. I'm not my circumstances. I'm not my pitfalls or the things that set me back. I'm the discipline I built. I got to remember that. We have to remember that. Both of us, have to remember who we are. One of the things that, like Kim said, that birthed this show was the fact that what I saw in Kim was this powerful being, this person that was like,
Mm-hmm.
it's like it don't matter. She got on the phone, could have fell down the stairs, or anything could have happened, and she's back on like, the leg hurting, but you won't know it because my discipline is saying I have to accomplish this thing. So those are things that I think that, especially people of our generation, that we can kind of relate to, we can kind of address or express. Because again, Kim and I never talk about some shit we heard. We talk about stuff that we know and we've learned.
Yes, I agree. 100% agree. And I'm gonna piggyback off Ed and say this: when he was saying in martial arts, he learned. People say, until they get hit. I know everybody watched that Karate Kid movie. One of the first movies I watched with my youngest son, and he all in YouTube, all the stuff. And I was like, I just want you to watch a movie with mommy. And he didn't understand why I wanted him to watch Karate Kid. And yes, I did the one with Jaden Smith. And I'm gonna give a shout out to him because I love the way he portrayed in the movie and the first guy as well. But the part that stuck to me is when y'all remember when he got his leg hurt and he was just, that infamous kick where he holding his leg up. And so this particular one in J.D. Smith, they really harbored on, like they spent a little time in a part of the movie where he goes and get in the bed, and his coach comes in there and say, "Okay, you did it. Like like basically you whooped the other guys. Like why you still want to do this? Like you know what I'm saying? Because his leg was really huge, bruised. And in the first one, I didn't see it like that. So it stood out that when he asked him that question, he said because I don't want to be scared no more. So no matter how much the pain was, no matter how bad it hurt, and no matter how many guys he had to fight, he simply didn't want to be scared no more. That is very, very powerful in what you choose to do with your life, where you choose to go in your life, and how you want your life to be. With that stated, my son said, Mom, like that was like the best movie ever. But I'm the type of person, like if we read a book or we watch a movie or we do a show or webinar, I like to ask what you get from it, what you take away from it. And he said, I like the fact that he wasn't scared no more. And I said, yeah, like sometimes you get scared. He said, yeah, sometimes I get scared. And I said, so that's what I wanted him to take away from that movie. But I'm going to share that same thing with you. Sometimes we get scared to go through things. Sometimes things hurt so bad that we climb into what I call a cocoon and you don't want to come out of it. I like to feel my pain, yet let not my pain hinder me from moving and pushing forward. Because then I'm never going to reach my destiny. And destiny is a whole nother segment that I want to do at another time. But I do feel like it's been so harbored on my heart, as I say, for me, of a push through type person. That's me. I feel like that a lot of us, if we did, we would get there quicker. Because you know how when you're in pain, you want to get that medicine so you don't feel that pain no more. But what about the kind of pain that you can't just, you know what I'm saying, take a pill for? So you get a drink, or you smoke a blunt, or you get crack, or for whatever it is, that you're trying to suppress. I would say to reach down in you, the quicker you be able to get around it, the quicker you'll be able to get through it. And that does take discipline, as Ed is saying, because sometimes it's hard, like, to just push through pain. It's hard to just say, well, today I'm gonna do this. Everybody's not gonna be that person, like, okay, you ain't gonna know I'm in pain, but I'm gonna push through. So where do you go? At some point, you got to be motivated enough, or you got to have that one thing that make you say, okay, I'm gonna focus to get there. And a lot of times we stop focusing. We stop, as Ed was saying, remembering what's already in us. Like when you're working out, you have memory muscle, right? Well, it's the same thing with our experiences in our head. Something can happen and you can have a flashback, or something can trigger you and it can come back. So, with that saying, I would say, when we harbor in and just focus, because it's always been my idea, and I know a lot of ladies and people do this, period, especially in businesses. We multitasking, right? But actually, multitasking don't always get the job done. For example, this is a true thing between Ed and I. I'd be like, Ed would be like, okay, Kim, I'm trying to compliment you. You saying one thing, and I'm saying this, and I'm trying to, put this in. I'm trying to focus on this, one thing. And it really hit me one day when he was saying that. I was like, and I'm like, well, Ed, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm good at multitasking, and I am. But in every retrospect, you don't need to multitask. So let's diminish that myth. Sometimes we need to slow down where we at and just harbor in. I know I pick up stuff like this. I got this. I got that license. I can do this. I can do that. I'm that person. I got all kind of variety going on. But in order for all those things to be happening, or for me to bend those things, or for me to be exposed to those things, I stopped and I harbored in and focused in on that one thing. So sometimes multitasking is not what you need. When we bring in y'all content, a lot of times we don't like to do dialogue. Ed and I don't like to do formatting. We like to get over here and be live and raw. But we do have to talk about what we're going to talk about to a certain extent, so we can make sure we give y'all the real, as we always say. So with that said, please hit us up with questions. I mean, I know it's a lot of y'all. I would love to hear from a lot of y'all. What you trying to focus on, you just can't seem to get to it. You trying to figure out like where I'm supposed to be at. A great thing about the remainder of 2022 is that there's 11 months left. So whatever you decide to do, the power is all within you already. You pretty much is probably already doing it. So whether it's from weight to being making that bomb money or getting that bad promotion, it's already in you. And I'm here for it. I'm here to be your number one cheerleader, Mitchell&Mitchell. Ed and I, we gonna push, 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 push through. It's gonna always be some stuff that knock us down, but you better believe we're gonna get back up.
Right.
So with that said, Ed, I
Yes,
want to do
ma'am.
a little short, motivation to our people this Friday to say get up. And I'm quite sure Ed feel the same way.
Yes. Get up, whatever you're going through. Um, it's important to remember who you are. That's the thing that I want to focus in on too. We will talk about later, but really figuring out who you are. Like,
Yep.
not what people say about you that diminish you, but who you are. Don't, not that lump of coal, but that diamond that becomes a diamond because of the pressure. So who are you? And then once you know who you are, let that let that diamond that you are reflect that light into an array of different colors. And that's the beautiful thing about it. So what we want to do is we want to push that. Um,
Right.
we don't believe in going where you tolerate it. We go where we celebrate it. We want to make sure we put love on you. We put encouragement on you. We want to make sure that you understand the focus. What she said today was paramount. Just that focus. When you talk about the multitasking and stuff like that, sometimes completing one thing and mastering that, and then going to the next thing and mastering that focus and make sure you complete that task. So yes, Friday. Listen, we are Always going to be here to help and support. Um, Please like, comment, give us what you think we should talk about. Tell us what you think about what we're talking about today. If you have any input
Yeah,
or testimony, hell, tell us something that you went through that you had to realize. You had to tell
that's
yourself
right.
like, I am this person. I am that man. I am that woman. I'm that girl. I'm that
That's
bad B.
right.
I'm bad Ian. For lack of better phrases. So, look, we like you,
Right.
love you guys. Like, subscribe, and share. Please share. Let people know that we exist.
Please.
We want to know
Yeah,
that we don't want to just be to just 2 or 3 people or 5 people. We want to be to 5 million people. But even if those 2 or 3, 20 people, we're gonna give you all the best of ourselves.
at all times.
Yes, ma'am.
So, to the next segment, we'll see y'all again. This Mitchell and Mitchell Sip and Spill. We'll be back at you at another time.
My sip on my little coffee.
I got my water.
Yes, that's good. Happy. That's good stuff.
All right. Peace, y'all.
Peace out, people.